If you spend any time, or you have spent any time on social media over the last few days, and you follow various churches or various Christians, then you may well have come across this graphic several times. I know it's certainly come across my Instagram and Facebook a number of times. A lot can happen in 7 days. And the image walks us through kind of Palm Sunday, Good Friday to Easter Sunday. And when I've done primary school Easter assemblies, one of the things that I've done is to have paper plates on a lollipop stick with a happy face on one side and a sad face on the other, and get the children to kind of show how the disciples were feeling at different points in this week. Because for the disciples, these 7 days were a emotional roller coaster. From the excitement of Palm Sunday, suddenly it's all finally going to happen. Jesus is going to be recognized for who he is. Jesus is going to be welcomed as king. Through then to some of the maybe the more confusing things, the more worrying things that Jesus said to them on Maundy Thursday, through to his arrest, and then, of course, through the events of Good Friday as they saw Jesus tried and executed. And for the disciples, their hopes and their dreams and their expectations came crashing down. The bottom had fallen out of their world. Their hopes, their dreams, their expectations had died with Jesus. They'd started to think that Jesus was the Messiah, that he was the one who had been promised for hundreds of years that would come and save his people, the one sent by God, the one chosen by God, the one anointed by God. And now this. And the Gospels have very little detail about the horrific nature of Jesus' death. In the passage that we read earlier, Matthew simply says, when they had crucified him. Because a first century audience would have known the horrors of crucifixion. It was a death that was designed to be slow, and it was designed to be public. It was designed to be painful, and they had to create a new word for it. Excruciating literally means out of the cross. It was a death designed to deter any desire to resist the empire. And for Jesus, there wasn't just the physical anguish. For the first time since before the creation of the world, as Jesus takes the sin of the world on his shoulders, he experiences separation from God. My God, why have you forsaken me? We live in a world that is hurting, in a world where many are feeling forsaken and abandoned, where many are living without any sense of hope that things are ever going to get better. A world where many people are asking, where is God in all of this? And of course, we know that Good Friday is not the end of the story. We know that Sunday is coming. We know that the cross wasn't some massive accident or misjudgment on the part of Jesus. It was a part of God's plan right from the very first pages of the Bible story. We know that this was the way that God was going to save his people, through the cross. We know that because of Jesus' death, our sin has been dealt with. We know that because of the cross, we can know forgiveness for sin, we can know peace with God, we can know life in all its fullness. We know that because of the cross, we have hope for the future. We know that because Sunday is coming, even death is not the end. And we look forward to the resurrection into the new heavens and the new earth, when everything will be put right and when God's dwelling will be amongst his people. but we're not there yet. And because of the cross, God's answer to the question, why have you forsaken me? God's answer is, I haven't. I'm right here alongside you in your pain, in your suffering, in your grief, in your confusion. We started our service reading from Psalm 22, which obviously is followed by Psalm 23. Psalm 23 reminds us that even when I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Now, when we are in the darkest valley, the hope and the promise isn't just that it won't go on forever. It isn't that there is light at the end of the tunnel. It isn't that you're nearly there, just keep on going for a little bit longer. It isn't even it will be worth it in the end. Now, there is truth in all of those things. Part of the hope that we have is that things are not going to go on like this forever. We are looking forward to Jesus' return and the new heavens and a new earth. But in the meantime, the hope and the promise is that God is here with us. He knows what it's like. He knows what we're going through. He's been there. He's done it. Yes, Sunday is coming, but today is Friday. And my prayer for each of us, and particularly for those of us that are walking through the darkest valley at the moment, my prayer is that we may know the presence of Jesus walking with us. May we know the peace and the joy and the hope that only He can bring. Let's pray.